Today we're going to go ahead and go over Pythagorean theorem and word problems with it. Okay, so looking at this first problem here, we need to draw a picture and then use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the missing side. So the bottom of a ladder must be placed 3 feet from a wall. The ladder is 10 feet long. How far above the ground does the ladder touch the wall? So the first thing is we need to draw a picture to help us understand this. So let's see, the bottom of the ladder must be placed 3 feet from a wall. So here's this is my wall. So 3 feet out is going to be where the ladder is. So 3 feet. The ladder is 10 feet long. So change my color here, from this point to this point, here where it touches the wall, this is 10 feet. I need to go ahead and figure out how far above the ground does the ladder touch the wall. So I'm looking for this point right here where the ladder touches the wall. Okay, realistically, the wall's going to go straight up, and the ladder isn't going to go into the wall, but you understand what I mean. So this is going to be a 90-degree angle, right? Because the ground and a wall create a 90-degree angle. So let's go ahead and add in some letters. So let's go, we know Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So A and B are going to be the legs. So let's call A the short side, B the middle side, and then C is going to be the hypotenuse, right? So let's go A, call that B, because we're just going to assume that's going to be a little bit bigger than 3 feet, and C. So again, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Remember, C is always the hypotenuse. So now fill in the information that we know. And I said A was 3 squared plus, I don't know what B is, B squared. So now I need to go ahead and do the math for each of those. Okay, when I do that, 3 squared is 9. Plus b squared, that I don't know, equals 10 squared is 100. So now I'm going to solve for the unknown. So I'm going to solve for b. So if I have plus 9, I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. That will cancel out. 100 take away 9 gives me 91. So b squared equals 91. So I'm going to rewrite that over here. B squared equals 91. So if I want to figure out what B is, I need to go ahead and get rid of the squared, right? I have B squared, but I need just B. So in order to the opposite of B squared, I need to square root both sides. So square rooting B squared would leave me just B. And the square root of 91 is not a perfect square. I can leave it as the square root of 91, or if I need it in a decimal, when I put it into the calculator, I'm going to get 9.53939, and that is going to keep repeating. Okay, now looking at number 2, a soccer field is a rectangular 100 meters wide and 130 meters long. The coach asks the players to run from one corner to the other corner diagonally across. What is the distance? So first thing I want you to do is to highlight the information, okay? It's 100 meters wide and 130 meters long. The coach asks the players to go from one corner to the other diagonally across. And we need to figure out what is that distance. So first thing, let's draw a picture. Okay, so here is a soccer field that's a rectangle. It's 100 meters wide, and well, I guess I don't need the W, and it is 130 meters long. I need to figure out the diagonal measurement. Can you figure out the lime green line? Well, it's a soccer field, so I know it's going to have a right angle, so I can use Pythagorean theorem to answer it. So let's go. A being the shortest side, B being the middle side, and C will be the hypotenuse, the diagonal side. So again, A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So now take the information I know and insert it. So A I said was 100 squared plus B is 130 squared equals, I don't know what C squared is. Now do the math. 100 squared is 10,000 plus 130 squared gives me 16,900 equals C squared. So now I'm going to add these two together. I get 26,900 equals C squared. So I solved and I have C squared. However, I don't want C squared, I just want C. So in order to get rid of C squared, I need to square root both sides. That'll leave me just C here and the square root of 26,900. Once I put it into the calculator, it gives me 164.012, and these are meters long, so meters long. And that is the distance of C. How far from the base of the house do you need to place a 15-foot ladder so that it exactly reaches the top of a 12-foot tall wall? Okay, again, let's highlight and look for what our information we have. So we have a 15-foot ladder, okay, and we need to know how far from the base of the house we need to put it so that it exactly reaches the top of a 12-foot tall wall. So draw a picture. Always draw a picture if you can. It will help. So here I have a wall, the ground, wall. So the top of the wall is right here, and we know that is 12 feet. Okay, that part we did. We also know that we have a 15-foot ladder, okay? So it's the ladder from the top of the wall down. This is going to be 15 feet. We know that. What we don't know and what we need to solve for is how far away it is going to be on the ground. Well, right here we can go ahead and put in our little 90-degree angle because we know the ground and the wall are going to create a 90-degree angle. We know 15 is going to be C. We can just go ahead and label the number we have A, and we can leave B for the unknown. It might be bigger or smaller, but it really doesn't matter right now. A and B can be interchanged. C is always the hypotenuse. So now let's take the information we know and write it out. So I know A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So A, I said, was 12 squared plus B squared is what I don't know, equals 15 squared. So now I do the math. 12 squared gives me 144 plus B squared, or I can call that X squared if I want to. I can change the variable letter, it doesn't matter, equals 15 squared, which is 225. So now I need to go ahead and get B squared, or B by itself ultimately. So I'll subtract 144 from this side, subtract 144 from this side, leaving me 81. That'll cancel out. So B squared equals 81. Well, I need to find out what B is, not necessarily just B squared. So I'll square root B, I'll square root 81, leaving me just B equals the square root of 81, or in a decimal, that is 9. So the ladder needs to be 9 feet, right? Yep, we're doing feet, so 9 feet away from the wall on the ground.